Wunderbar. Kommen wir nun zur letzten Präsentation des Tages von Jonas und Alexandre. Also ich würde Jonas und Alexandre gerne auf die Bühne bitten und sie werden uns zum Thema Umstellung auf 2D-Codes berichten. Viel Spaß.
Vielen Dank, Tim. And I switched to English because we have a guest who likes to present in English. So welcome from our side to the topic of 2D code transformation. More data, more possibilities. Maybe you know that in future, EAN 13 codes will change because there is a global ambition among all GS1 members to have at the retail point of sale the possibility after 2027 scanning 2D data carriers, which enable a whole new era of processes. So after 2027, industry should be free to choose which data carrier they want to add to their products. Is it a EN13 barcode, or is it a QR code with GS1 digital link or GS1 data matrix? So we have to make sure that the retail point of sale is ready for this challenge and that industry is able to use all these new capabilities. This is why we call the 2D codes of the next generation powered by GS1. Why is this ambition there? I mean, you know, EN13 code served now for 50 years, very well, very stable in all processes, but there are new demands. Consumers demand for so much more information, for allergens, for traceability. Authorities want to have details on recyclability and recycled content in the packaging. You and your business partners, you want to automate processes. You want to lower costs in these processes. You want to automate. And of course, last but not least, on certain product packages, you see already more than one code. You have an EN13 code. You have a QR code for marketing. You have a GS1 or data matrix code for packaging purposes. And this is creating confusion at the point of sale. So this is an opportunity to reduce from more than one code, reduce the complexity into one code and establishing one code which is able to be processed at point of sale, but also in the supply chain. There are many business opportunities from inventory management to traceability to safety to sustainability to consumer engagement and improved packaging. I named a few of them, but I don't want to go into detail because our guest is the star today, because we have 10 companies in Switzerland and we are very, very proud that these 10 companies, and among them Nestlé as one of the global leaders, are very committed to this transformation to 2D codes here in Switzerland by end of 2027. We also have some global actors committing to very precisely using the QR code combined with the GS1 digital link, which enables all these opportunities. Don't mix up Migros. Migros, that's the Turkish Migros, but we have the Swiss Migros on the other slide as well. So, but I don't want to get any longer because we have a great guest now here today from Nestlé Suisse, Alexandre Furderer. He's data analytics manager and he's going to show you what's the status of Nestlé in the topic of 2D, the ambition and the challenges. Alexandre, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Jonas. Good afternoon, everyone. Let me put my slides. So, a basic agenda of what I want to share with you today. First of all, a status about where we stand on 2D, and two big challenges that I want to dive in. It's not exhaustive, but at least you will get a sense of what we are currently facing at Nestlé. and just a conclusion after that. So while building this presentation, I tried to pick the best pictures to showcase what we are incurring right now in our journey towards 2D. Just briefly about Nestlé, our purpose. Our purpose as Nestlé Global is to unlock the power of food to enhance quality for everyone today and for generations to come. And I think 2D is the perfect initiative and technology to help us concretely move on for this purpose by enhancing the transparency of products, by also bridging the gap with our consumers and interacting with them to know their behaviors, to know what they need, what they want. So, at Nestlé, where do we stand on this initiative? We have two main pilots on which we are working on. The first one is probably, let's say, the simplest one, because it consists of embedding into one code the GTIN and the URL. Behind this URL, it's marketing content, it's a brand website, it's a promotional activity, you name it. We have a broad brand of experiences that we can provide through this URL. We have 3 brands that are lined up for that, and one is getting really concrete with Cahier. So in 2025, the brand is going to do a relaunch. More than 150 SKUs are going to go through that pilot, and you should see those products on the shelf by September this year. For us, this kind of pilots are very important because on the marketing aspect, we need to enhance the pack design. We need to find the best practices on how to embed this code on the pack so that it really makes sense and the consumers want to scan the product maybe more than once, maybe on the shelf, maybe at home, in the fridge, etc. It's also for us a way to describe and design our process internally, and also play around with the different type of marketing experiences that come behind the code. So this is the simple piece. Now the most complex piece where we start to gradually increase the complexity, it's on the right side. It's both consumer and customer experience, and this will be for lazy. On this code, what we try to bring is the GTIN, the URL, the best before date, and the batch. If you imagine the complexity of this, it means that essentially you need to be able to print this code on the line, because from one day to the other, the expiry date changes, the batch changes. So it opens another dimension in terms of complexity, because you need to work on your infrastructure, you need to work on your line directly. But also, in the end, this code needs to be used. So we need to make sure that at the end of the value chain, our customers can read this code, can manage the content, can leverage it for their own sale experience in the store. So just to give you a small idea, and this is still a draft, but you have an idea of the pack design that you will see on the shelf. The code works. I hope that the resolution is okay for you. But this is essentially what you're going to see in stores in September 2025. I'll let you a few seconds to scan. Hopefully you land on the right page. Or you will have the presentation later on. Okay. So that was a bit about where we stand right now. Now I want to deep dive on 2 main challenges that we are facing, I think, ourselves as Nestlé, but also others. This image, again, really shows that we are part of a chain, and everybody needs to engage into this initiative so that we take the most value out of this code. So first challenge is awareness and adoption. And I want to ask you first a question, like, how many % do you think are scanning a code in retail out of 100%? If you have a number, 1? You're close, 5? I think that's the right guess. So when I saw this number, I was shocked. It's 5.8%, so it's very low. And to summarize that, it means that, yeah, it's good to have a code on the back, but if nobody scans it, it's useless. So we need to think about how we can change durably the consumer behaviors so that he scans this code regularly, maybe with new content, maybe with other promotional activities, maybe with a product recall or allergens that are newly displayed for this specific product. So this is a challenge, hopefully not for me, but for the marketeers, how to design the pack, how to have the best experience possible for our consumers, so that the consumer really scans again the code later on. Because in the end, for us, it also means more data points. It also means knowing better our consumers and really enhancing all the journey for him. That's about the adoption. And now about the awareness. I've worked on this initiative for 1.5 years and 2 years, roughly 2 years. And I sincerely believe that both internally and externally, our actors and all the value chain actors are not engaging enough to meet this Sunrise 2027. So it means by 2027, we would have a 1D code or a 2D code on the pack. We need to grasp this initiative and ensure that we explore the entire possibilities through it. So on this slide, I give you a couple of arguments that you can actually use to talk with your partners and your peers to tell them how cool this initiative is. First of all, on the consumer use case, the product transparency, the product safety, also additional data points for manufacturers and for people along the value chain. You have also a simple design because you reduce the number of codes that are on the pack. So it's more readable, it's more nice to the consumer. And then there is one thing that is super important and that I'm quite proud that our marketeers have finally grasped the power of Resolver. So the Resolver is essentially this tiny bit that can help you trigger the experience to different content over the time. So you can decide from one day to the other, the code remains the same on the pack, but the consumer is redirected to a completely different experience. So it means that for seasonality products, from promotional, for special activations, you can go from one day to the other to a completely different experience. And this, our marketeers, when they realized that, there were sparkles in their eyes, and they really love this concept. Now, on the customer use case, if you start to put more granular information in the code, such as the batch, such as the best before date, you can manage your stock levels way better. You can also improve the freshness of your product. You can do promotional activities when your products are close to the end of the shelf life. So in the end, it's a cost-saving opportunity. And also imagine if a consumer goes to the cashier, scans the code, and the machine shows him, okay, you've picked a product that is outdated. The shopper journey is even better. And the shopper believes that the customer, the retailer cares about him. So this is useful content, and I hope that you will leverage that for your peers. Now, regarding the implementation, I want to first introduce you to the scale of Nestlé, because if we go towards serialization, so if we start to put best before date or batch information in the code, it's a huge impact for us. As you can see, we have more than 350 factories, we have co-manufacturers, we have plenty of production lines, we sell in numerous countries with different regulations, and we also have our internal people that need to be embarked onto this journey. So the costs are various, are huge. It goes from technology, it goes to human, And grasping this is definitely having at least a sense of it is already quite good. But defining a strategy based on this, do you want to put, for example, this kind of granular information on all your products? If you have probably short shelf life products, then it's maybe worse to invest into best before date and batch number. But for long shelf life, probably it's not needed. So this kind of thinking is really important to be done, so that we ensure that the right investment is done on the right places. And now a few words for our providers. So I'm leading this initiative for Nestlé and Nestlé Switzerland. What I faced so far on the software part is a bit of unclarity regarding the licensing models of the tools that we are using to design QR codes. We are a global and multinational company. We sell in many countries. We need solutions that are adapted to us and probably not restricted only to Switzerland, but worldwide. And we can still see some early stage errors in the QR code. We have some competitors in France that use the freeware to generate QR codes. When you go and scan in the store, it lands on a completely different page, not willing from this manufacturer. So these are the kind of mistakes. I think it's still early stages, but it happens and it can hurt the manufacturer or whoever in the value chain. Then in terms of hardware, if you start to go with serialization and things that you want to print on the code, you need printers on the line. They need to handle the speed of the line. They need to be capable of integrating with all the ecosystem that we have. And believe me, at Nestlé, it's a huge ecosystem. So integrating this, for me personally, is still a huge challenge. And I'm really hoping that our providers can help us during this journey. So, to conclude, and this is a bit sharing the good word. We are not in a church today, but I just want to invite you, to share these good words with your partners, with your peers. I think it's good if everybody engage and collaborate together. I think it's only a successful initiative if all the actors are really connected through this initiative. And on Nestlé's side, Nestlé Switzerland is a pilot market for this initiative. So we'll definitely collaborate with our retailers to ensure that the codes can be read. I think this is a must. And also that these retailers can handle the content of the code so that they take the most benefit out of it. And then, as I said before, we work gradually with added complexity on test turnaround cases to both enhance our pack design so that the consumer starts to have this routine of scanning the code regularly, and also iterate on the different types of experience that we can showcase to our consumers. So that's it for me. No secret recipe, but if we engage and collaborate together, I think we can make it and make the most out of it.
Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Alexandre. Very, very interesting and deep insights into the work of Nestlé Switzerland. You have been part of a global premiere, seeing this QR code on that product. So it's really something, it means a lot to GS1 and to not only GS1 Switzerland, also to GS1 Global, having Nestlé Switzerland being so active in this topic. So thank you very much, and thank you very much for being here. Of course, yes, at GS1 it always feels a little bit like in church, but as you said, if we strive to this ambition, it's only possible if we go together down this road. We from GS1 Switzerland are happy that we are having solution partners here today, but also in our ecosystem, supporting our members with qualitative support in this topic and beyond. You can see some of them in the 2D tours, 2D guided tours. We will follow up just after this presentation. Come to this starting point over there if you want to join just afterwards, and or meet us at the GS1 Excellence Days on 4th of June in Kursaal, Bern. This year we will have this topic once again. And now I would like to open the floor. We still have 5 minutes for questions if there are any in the room. Do you have questions to Alexandre from Nestlé? Please come on.
We had a clear presentation, no? I think.
Very clear presentation. And I hope everybody admires your work and they are all going home and saying, okay, let's do that. Let's profit from your experience. So once again, thank you for giving us these insights. If there are no questions, then I don't want to be any longer. Thank you very much, Alexandre. Thank you very much, Nestlé Switzerland. And thank you all for your interest, and good luck for the transformation. And maybe see you over there for the 2D guided tours. Have a nice day. Thank you very much.
Thank you.